Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly. Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly. Welcome to my YouTube videos where I'll be sharing free video tutorials and interesting wire wrapping techniques. So hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below if there's any techniques you would like me to cover. And thanks everybody, I'll see you there. Hi, I'm Kelly from Kelly Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this pendant. Got another square one for you today. I've put a list in the description below of everything you'll need to make this one. It's not as fiddly as the last one. There's Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, and so that's where all my written tutorials are if you want to have a little nosy at those. So over on Etsy. So to make this pendant you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge, and I've cut 4 lengths at 9 inches, which is 23 centimetres. You'll need weaving wire. You'll only need about 100 centimetres, so that's 0.315mm, which is 28 gauge. You can go a step up or down on any of these gauges. And you'll need a small stone. Mine is 15mm. It's quite small. It's a little bit thicker than my last square one that I did. 15 by 15, and my weaving wire is wound onto a bobbin. This is a Bobeeze bobbin by Beadsmith. If you don't have one of these, don't worry. This is just for working with the longer lengths, so it stops your wire from flailing about everywhere. You can cut shorter lengths as you go if you prefer. So cut your wires to the lengths that I have, and we'll find the centre point on those, and that's where we'll start weaving. So spread your wires out a little bit to make it a little bit easier to weave, and take your weaving wire and we'll wrap a few times around the bottom wire to attach. So we'll go around the bottom 2 wires, come up between, and we'll go around the middle 2 wires, come up between, go over the top, so then come up between and go around the top wire. So I've gone over the top, come up between the middle 2 and wrap around that 3rd wire, come up between the bottom 2 wires and then go over the 2nd wire. So we've wrapped around the 2nd wire, wrap around the bottom wire. So we need to do that a few more times. So we wrap around 2 wires on the way up, and then we wrap around each wire individually on the way back down. Gracie's snoring already. And we'll repeat that again just once more. So I've done another repeat of that, and we've actually slid along the wires, so pull it back to be central, push your weave together, and we'll finish that weave with 3 wraps around the bottom wire. So then we need to cut the weaving wire at both ends and press the ends down flat with your pliers. So now we need to bend this to the angle of the corner of the stone, because the stone's going to sit in a diamond shape this time. So you need to work out as well which way you want your stone to be. And then you need to bend the wire to fit into that corner shape. So grip it. I'm going to grip it just to the right of the centre. and bend those wires. And we just need to adjust that until it's the same angle as the stone. That doesn't normally happen. I normally have to keep adjusting it. So that's what you want. So now where the stone, obviously we're going to bend the wire around the stone. Where it goes around these corners here, I want the same weave as there at the bottom. So we need to take our weaving wire and we need to do this weave here and here. So we'll do this side first. So it's exactly the same weave on this side, and don't worry about your positioning because we can slide it down in a moment. So push it all together to get it all nice and tidy. Cut the wire off at both ends and press the ends flat. So we need that weave to sit across the corner. So slide it down into place. Gracie's snoring her head off. You can hear her because she's so clingy. She has to sit right next to me and snore all day. So now we've got to do that weave on the other side. So as you work the other side, we've got to turn it over. So as you work this side, you've got to do an upside down so it matches these. So it needs to be an upside down weave. So start with your 3 wraps along the top and then copy it upside down. So you need to come down the wire doing the wrap around each one individually and then go up the wire. But it obviously needs to look like that when you're done. So go around each wire. So I've wrapped 3 times around the top wire, then go around each wire on the way down, and then go around 2 wires on the way back up. And repeat that 3 times and finish with 3 wraps around the top wire. So I've done 3 repeats of that. Squeeze it together, pull the wire tight on the ends, cut it, press it flat with pliers, wiggle it down, and I need to position that one over that corner. So then, holding it all in place, I'm going to carefully bend the wires around those corners, keeping an eye on the weave. You want the weave to be on the corner as you bend the wire. And my one wire bent lovely and the other one didn't bend so well. So I'm just going to correct that with my pliers. So you may not get it that tight the first time. It may need a little bit of adjusting. So where the wires come to the top, now we need to straighten them up. So holding it quite firmly in place there, straightening the wires up at the top, and then I'll do that with the other wires too. So now you can see where I've roughly done it. My wires are kind of all over the place, so I'm going to adjust them by bringing them together, and then I'm going to re-bend the wires to come out with the pliers. So I'm making sure they're next to each other, and I'll just bend them out a bit more. So now you have something like that. New tutorial now in my Etsy shop. A written tutorial is a file that you download, and it's loads and loads of pages with loads of images and descriptions so you can follow along at your own pace. There's loads on there from beginner to advanced, but this is my latest one if you want to go and check it out, and I'll see you there. We're going to remove the stone for a little bit, and we'll take one of these back wires and wrap around that one a few times. If we can attach the top wires in place, then we can set the stone in. So slide that down to sit just on the one side a little bit, so it's right where just below where the wires meet. Now you want to hold the wires together, but again making sure that the wires aren't crossing over each other. Oops, and then we're going to wrap around the whole thing. So have a look and make sure they're not crossing over each other. And then bring the wire back around one of those back wires there, just to hold it in place. So far so good. And we're going to cut this little tail end at the beginning, but we'll leave the other wires long for now. So reposition your stone and turn to the back. And we're just going to try and pull this back wire over the stone to hold it in place. So we grip the bottom of it here, wriggle down so you get right down as low as you can. And we're pulling it over and we're twisting it. My stone did move and I pulled the wire away, so I'm going to push it too. Let me do that with this side too. A bit tricky to show you, but you grab it, wriggle down and then twist that one up to the same, so you've got the same on both sides. So we'll do the side too. Grip again, wriggle your pliers in, push it right down and twist. As I twist the wire, I'm holding the top in place so it doesn't move. Let me do it with the other one as well. So the back is kind of like a practice run, and it's never going to be, it doesn't need to be as tidy as the front. I'm just tidying it up a little bit. So don't worry too much about this. This is just our holding in the stone from the back. So we don't really need to pay too much attention to that, as long as the stone is held in properly at the back. So now when we pay attention to the front, we need to really take our time and get it as nice as we can. So I'm going to be working on this front wire. I'm just going to make a little gap there so I can get my pliers in. I'm just pulling it away just a little bit. I'm pulling it forward a little bit. So now we're going to pull the wire in. We've got to do it nice and tidy. Get in there, wriggle it down. And you've got to do it in the first go, because the more times you turn this wire and adjust it to get it right, the more you're going to mark it. So get in there, press it down, and a little turn. Same on the other side, get in there, slide it down, little turn. Gonna do it here as well, slightly different to the back. Hold the front, hold this here, wriggle in, little turn. Same here. Wriggle right in there, because if you don't grip the wire fully, you'll slip and mark your wire. Little turn. So because you've got to get it right in the first go, so you don't mark your wires up too much, you've got to make sure you grip the wire, then give it a quick turn and let go. And then the less messing about we do, the tidier it'll be, and we'll have less marks on the wire. So we've got to do that with the top 2 wires as well. So I've done the top wire as well. So when you do it, don't hesitate. Just think, I'm going to do this right. Grab the wire, little twist, and then do that in all of those ends. And feel confident with what you're doing, because I think if we hesitate and I'll turn it a bit, knowing I can turn it a bit more, then you start marking your wire, which is what I use. So look at the wires at the top. And we've got our weaving wires attached to that back one. So I've got 3 on this side. I've got 3 on this side. And I've got 2 at the front. So these 2 front wires are what we want. So let this come through the middle. We're going to wrap around these front wires. We're going to weave across these 2 wires. I'm going to leave those for now. So we'll go 3 wraps. No, we just go 1. So we'll wrap around the 1 wire. Push it down as far as you can. And then wrap around both wires. Come up between. Wrap around the top wire. So that's our little repeat. We wrap around the bottom wire. Go around the 2. Up between. And around the top wire, and keep repeating that. So I've done about 2.5 centimeters of that weave. Push your weave together as you go. And we're going to finish it with a few wraps around one of the wires. Take the 2 front closest wires to the front, so they kind of sit either side of it, of the weave. Just try to reposition it at the base there, so it comes out to the side more. And then we're going to take those three wires, 2 wires in the weave, and bending them forwards, and then I'm going to bend them over to the back all together. Now if you have bail pliers, it could make this bit a lot easier. Take the wires over to the back, and then where they meet that weave there, I'm going to bend the wires back a little bit. So you know what I'm going to do, just to try and keep these wires in place and make it a little bit easier to handle, I'm just going to tie them together there at the bottom. So I'm going to take the weaving wire around the 2 wires on the one side a couple of times, and I'm going to bring the wire over to the other side and go twice around the 2 wires on that side. And then bring the wire up between the bottom 2. Just go once around that second wire. Have another look at the wire shaping. You want to squeeze that together. That's now our bail section. So you want to squeeze that together. And we're going to wrap around the whole thing. So make sure it's all nice and straight. And we'll take our wire around the whole thing, and it would be nice if it went around and it joined onto these wraps here. So it's nice and tidy. So go around a few more times. And then finish it off around one of these end wires. So I've come up between the wire and I'll just go around it a few times. We'll cut that wire and press it flat. So that's what we've got so far. So I'm going to take both of these wires now, because I've got 2 wires on each side. Push it down and bring it to the front there. Then I'm going to take this wire, I'm going to angle it out a little bit. I'm going to bring this wire around, and I'm going to hold it as I bend it to scoop it around to here. I'm going to bring these 2 wires down and forward a little bit. I'm going to take that wire out a little. With these 2 wires, I'm going to bend them around the bail. I'm going to cut them quite short. And with round nose pliers, I'm going to take them around that little woven bit. You can do whatever you want with these wires. You can finish it all off now at the top however you want. As soon as you've trapped your stone, you really can do anything with these wires. So I just want these to come around and stop there. I think I'm going to let them come over the front a little bit just so they hold in place. I'm just going to push them down that way a bit so they sit behind these wires and you can't see them too much. It sounds so easy when I say what I'm going to do and then I have to try and do it. So those wires are hidden from the front. So I'm going to take these 2 wires. The one is clearly above the other, and I'm going to try and keep them like that as I bring them across the front there. And then holding them there, I'm going to bring them back over to this side. You really can do whatever you want with these wires. So I'm going to scoop them around to cover that top corner. So I've popped a few little beads on there. I've got a 2mm bead and a 3mm bead. And then I'm going to bring those wires across the back. So squeeze the wires in place. Bring them back together Then they need to go across the back. And I'm really pressing on them here because that's where it kept lifting. The wires come across the back. And I'm just going to pop them around through the top of that bail there. You can either feed through the longer wire and pull it all the way through, or you can just cut it and bend it around. Holding it in place so it doesn't pull those beads out of place. Keep checking on your wire shaping. And then I'm going to squeeze those tight around there. Ooh. Got a few marks in my wire. So I've just squeezed those wires around the side a little so that they grip around there and hold in place. Make sure my beads are where I put them. And we just need to finish off these back wires. Again, you can do whatever you like. You can swirl these around and make a pretty decorative thing on the back if you want to. But I'm just going to cut them and curl them. Cut and curl. Make sure we don't cut any of those back wires. Nice and tight little curl there. Finishes it off and holds it in place. I'll do that with all of those back 4 wires. So 2 have sat underneath and 2 have sat slightly above. And I just need to run and oxidise mine. So there we have it, finished. I've oxidised mine. If you'd like to oxidise yours, I did a video on oxidising and aftercare. I'll put a link in the description below. So thanks for watching another one of my videos. Please subscribe and hit the notification icon if you want to be notified of new videos that I do. Please like and comment on this video and let me know what you thought. If you want to see my written tutorials, they're over on Etsy. You'll find the link below. There might even be a link on the screen. And I will see you all in the next video. This is Gracie if you didn't know. See you in the next one. Bye.